Hello.
So, long ago, but not so long ago that it doesn't matter, I did a poll. I did it in my Discord. Hang on, is the mic working? Yes, the mic is working. I did a poll. I was questioning people on, like, whether they think, you know, what time would be a good time to do a morning stream. Now, granted, there wasn't that many people. There wasn't that many people voting in the poll. It was basically like, you know, 4 to 6 people.
Bigger.
Thank you. But there was an idea of doing the Friday to Monday stretching. Excuse me, stretching. There was an idea to do the Friday to Monday poll. Yep, attire. Yep, I need to fix that. Click
Bigger.
this. I need my wardrobe. Kingdom Hearts.
Bigger.
Sora's hair.
Bigger.
I see everyone is getting in. I need to remember
Bigger.
to turn that off.
Bigger.
But I'll wait
Bigger.
till it like gets to the deflation or something like that, and then
Bigger. 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 Bigger.
it's gonna deflate
Bigger.
shortly.
Bigger.
Also, it's like ridiculous sizes. All right, I'll hydrate. I forgot to check the hydrate video and see what the sound was like, but Cookie for bestest
Bigger.
boy. Yeah, so the cool gimmick about Vignan.
1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to do those. The cool thing about Vignan is the fact that you're able to have like shape keys go beyond the normal like 100%. You can have it go beyond that. And so yeah, I'm thinking of coming up with like, if there is a hype train or something like that, making, you know, this particular redeem available, so then that way people have like a fun little thingy-majiggy of like, you know, inflating me to huge degrees, and then I get deflated once it gets too big, and then, you know, people having it going on and on and on again while there's a hype train. All right, let me do my squats. Here we go. Stretching.
Bigger.
Big stretch for the big boy. Big stretch for the big boy. All right, here we go. 20 squats. Here we go. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thank you, Masonic. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. They always feel terrible to do in the morning compared to the evening. All right, where is my platforms? There it is, channel point redeems. I must now hide the bigger. And I am going to gonna deflate myself. Give me one moment. Where is it? Here it is. Slowly but surely. There we go. All done. Now that should also fix the, Nope, decides... That's one of the new problems I have to deal with, is the quote-unquote bigger does it, like, if I send a webhook signal, it doesn't let the hotkeys work. So it's like, if I decide to have the webhook dictate, like, you know, the whole bigger and all that kind of nonsense, then I can't use my hotkeys to fix them. And that's like that's just a headache, frankly, that I don't exactly want to deal with in the long-term sense. I don't want that to be one of the troubles I have to deal with VNyan. I did like a huge rant last night about my feelings towards it, because like the short of it is that it does about the same sort of stuff as VTubers do, with like one or two small gimmicks, like, you know, being able to directly alter the shape key and such. But all of its bigger like differences from other VTuber programs is that it's trying to do a lot of the bot tasks, which I'm not a huge fan of, because I already have StreamerBot to do it. Because StreamerBot is just going to do it a lot better as a bot than, you know, VNyan is. But like, you can't remove some of the bot aspects from VNyan because, you know, they obviously want to do the shape key changes, webhooks, and yada yada. So it's like, how do you work on this? So sometimes, thank you for the boops there. Sometimes it's tempting to just simply move on over to move back into VTuber Plus, because at least that one kind of like sticks to its lane of it's just VTuber like model kind of nonsense, but it doesn't do like a lot of the things that I would like, such as, you know, making a shape key go beyond its normal limits, or you know, like just doing small snippets of shape key so it slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger kind of thing. It doesn't do that. But like, you know, I feel like if I wanted to have like more fiddly nonsense with my VTuber, I would basically have to, you know, go into Unity and make my own VTuber, which is just going to be a pain and a half to do. I'm going to be real with you, because there's only like 2 people I've seen so far who I'm actually following and such like that, who have done that, who are, you know, where their full-time job is not the Twitch YouTuber thing. Anyone else that has done the Twitch YouTuber thing is doing it full-time, and they've put their time and money into making their custom system and such what have you, which I do not have the time. I'm working full-time, and I'm like too autistic to like commit to this bit. because it's like I will look in it for like 30 minutes or so, not make any progress, and take it as a loss and move on to something else, which is, you know, probably not the best way to go about such things, but it is what it is. Did I post my thingy-majiggy everywhere? I think I did. No, I haven't, actually. Enter this here. And then... So yeah, so that's like the behind the scenes nonsense that I have to debate with is simplifying some of the stuff I want to do and look into doing my making new things unrelated to my VTuber, unless it's like, you know, substantial changes such as either a new model with entirely different shape keys like the AR kit or anything else that I want to do, or I have to commit to the fidelity changes I want to do and just create a Unity project that is quite simply just so my VTuber can be like presented and run through my own Unity program with, you know, the normal stuff such as Sprout, the face tracking, the hand tracking, and just simply be like, right, I can now like do my own little fiddly nonsense. Because the thing is like, I kind of already have an idea of if I have to make my own Unity program, I would want certain, like, you know, things to be added in there which are not found in the other programs that can use VTuber Plus, so like VTuber Plus, and that is things such as changing of texture files. Like that's something I want to be able to do, is be able to create a sort of like script or program where it's like, oh, someone there's an entirely new shirt design or something or rather, and someone could like submit that as an idea. It parses the web link, gets the PNG, drops the PNG onto like a shirt like texture file or something, and then my zebra wears the new texture file. Because that's how this works. Is I have like the wardrobe thingy-majiggy, and it's like all of these shirts are just simply like each of them are using the same normal maps. The only thing that changes with each material file is the fact that I just have a different image texture on the color. That's the only thing that's different about each of these things. They're using the same normals, they're using the same settings, they're going to the same shirt mesh. The only thing that changes is, you know, is the color image is different. So it's like if I could somehow make that, if I could program a solution in Unity, then that would be one of the things I would do in the Unity program. And then, you know, we'd work on the other things such as, you know, moving around in a three-dimensional environment instead of only being in like this flat Sprout environment. So a lot of the things I would like to try and do, but it's like, where's the time? I am like, because I'm now doing like the streaming thingy-majiggy on the weekend, and I just want to sleep for most of the weekend, and then I'm going into work, the normal 9 to 5 nonsense, and like the Monday to Fridays is when I have to do the stream, so they're definitely not doing things then. And from Tuesday to Thursday, I am just burnt out and tired. It is like, and the thing is like, it's not even, looking back on it, it's like, it's not even that much amount of work. It's just, I just feel tired and burnt out from like a day of being in the office or something or rather, and then I come back in here and it's like I don't want to like try and progress and do more things. Like that cactar I made, like I probably could have made that like a stream or something like that, where it's just like me making 3D objects for asset purposes or something or rather. I could have made that into a stream idea, but like I just wanted to get the cactar done once. I was looking at like, you know, tutorials left and right because I'm not that good of a 3D artist, and by the time I was done with that one, I was like, right, cool, I just want to sleep for like another 2 hours or something. I am and it's like, I don't know if a part of me is just lazy inherently or if I'm just, you know, burnt out. Because I don't like the idea of because like burnt out is a negative thing, obviously, but it just feels like, you know, I have somehow fucked up on the the short-term recovery stuff. Like, I've somehow fucked up on that, where the only avenue mentally and physically is to just burn out and not do anything for perhaps a weekend or even like a week or two. And it's like, oh, okay, I can't, because it's like, if I go on break from work, like, you know, my 9 to 5 work, I want to do more of streaming. But the thing is that what happens if I don't want to do streaming for a long amount of time? Because that's not good, I'm going to be real with you. Because if I don't stream for, like, you know, a week or two, any progression into trying to be, you know, in terms of discoverability or just simply, like, making people aware, hey, I'm alive, like, that kind of just, like, goes out the window. And so you end up, like, or I end up, sorry, going from, you know, having like a handful of people, like a baker's dozen, sit, like, you know, on average being around, and me being able to say hey, like, to Masonic or to Bone over there who does their merp, hi, by the by. Like, I go from that to maybe only having 3 people, you know, on average, and then I'm just sort of having to, like, climb up that Twitch rat race is the best way I can describe it. Just things in my brain. All right.
Quote 107. I just want my duck sucked. Is that too much to ask?
Yes. Every time, Bone. Every time it is too much to ask. People don't just get their dick sucked because they ask for it. That's just a reality that people have to not be a part of, because it would be rude to try and force that onto people. And plus, I just want to have, like, my brain not be tired all the time. Like, I'm not asking for it to just, you know, stop. I'm not asking for it to do, like, some sort of, like, you know, stop thinking, head empty thing. I just want it to function in a relative... I just want it to function to what some people say is normal. Because it's like, oh, you're not meant to have, like, you know, long-ass, like, monologues in your head. You're not supposed to feel tired, like, even after going to sleep and such like that. But then be, like, absolutely wired in the evening so you can't go to bed before midnight. You have clips now? Excellent! I think I've seen like 1 or 2 of them dropping into my join combo thingamadiggy, so they're definitely going to be popping up on my TikTok here and there. I've already got one of them posted in there because for some reason it's not, you know, being properly, like, added in, but I do appreciate the clips. I am seeing them getting cropped up. I enjoy always some of them, and I find them really cool, and I want to share those. All right. Now to get into the meat and potatoes of this stream, which is more of this. Also, I just realized I have, like, I just kept Kusaki's thingy-madiggy in the top there. I need to get rid of that because Kusaki is not streaming right now. Full screen elements? No. Foreground elements, there it is. All right, now I just need to get rid of the Twitch play. And I probably need to do that in the on the break screen as well. Because, you know, he's not actually streaming right now or anything like that. I just did that because... Damn, 74% is a good percentage. All right, so, fun fact. I was able to go back to the normal Final Fantasy thingy-majiggy and get myself... Look at that! Level 99. I am now max level. And I will need to fix... So, I got these things, and then I need to swap... these two back to, like, the cooler things. So, we got the... Alright, so... Let's see. Crystal Riggs Galley is 5 and 5. That's 4 and 4. So, we put that there. And then we get... What's this one? Decrease MP cost... I think I want to go for this, but I don't use the MP all that often. Unless I can get rid of... Can I get rid of this? I go from, like, 200 and something or rather to... Where is my thingy-majiggy? This one gives me a small boost in strength and magic and a slight boost in the maximum AP. I can't have it go that down, however. So I got Mickey's clasp. The Cosmic Ring I'm kind of needing to wear all the time because of the 80 AP. Because I need at least 230 AP. And if I get rid of that class, then I go down to like 210. So I need to somehow get 20 more AP in order to, you know, not have this issue. And there isn't a way for me to purchase more AP from this. But I do have a lot of money, so... How many of these can I make? 8. Cosmic Ring is 160. Cosmic Ring Plus is 160. I have not seen a Cosmic Ring Plus. I just have the Cosmic Ring. I do know, where is it? So yeah, I got the Cosmic Ring, which does 80. The Phantom Ring does 5 and 8. And this one does 6 and 10. Welcome back, Furry Cures. Like, if I could... What is... Cure Converter, I think, does something better. Wizard's Ruse, Defender... Like, maybe the Star Charm would help me out more? Because it's like, you know, 3, 3, and 10. Fencer, and so Fencer's Earring gives me 4 and 2. That gives me Defender. The Orichalcum Ring might be better. It's tricky trying to figure out, like, which things I can put on and such. Like, maybe Skill Ring Plus? Hang on, let me have a look. Also, why is it telling me I can buy something new? Oh, I can buy Lucid Gems is why. Okay. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Ow! There's one better than Cosmic Ring. Cosmic Ring Plus, maybe, yeah. So, let's see, there's Force. What's full MP Blast? And then there's Extra Cast. Valor grants a large boost in strength and a slight boost in max AP. And then there's all those things. And then there's all of Goofy stuff. So yeah, because this gives me 16, that gives me no abilities. This gives me 80, and if I drop it down to... I might be able to go down to a 250, so using the Master Ring instead. There's the Orichalcum Ring. Grants an incredible boost in... What's the ability? A fill situation gauge as you spend MP on Cure Magic. Stack the ability in... Oh, okay, so I can... But that gets me only down to 220, and I need at least 230 to keep all my abilities. So yeah, the Orichalcum Ring would be nice. We got the gold down... Converts all HP prizes to large. And then that's the magic thingy-madiggy. Recover MP each time you take damage. Oh, that would be cool. That actually might be useful. And it would give me a little bit more magic. 3, 3, and 10. 2, 2. This one would give me a fire and thunder. Water, arrow, and MP. HP Walker. Recover as you walk or run. And then that's MP Walker. Flaniversary gives me the, you know, MP getting higher. Recover MP when you take blizzard damage. MP Haste. So, but yeah. But we'll see how... Oh, actually, that's the other thing, is I need to swap out from Favorite Deputy back over to this thingy-madiggy, so then that way my strength goes back up to snuff. Because previously I was using the Favorite Deputy for Lucky Strikes to help finish through some of the stuff. And now we have... So this case, maximum MP... Alright, so that gives me the best... That's a 2, 8, and 2. That's a 12 and 2. And that's a 4 and 10. 3, 3, 1, and 1. It does give me a pretty decent boost. No, there is not. Okay, cool. And then I have my favorites here if I wanted to do, like, you know, the full course meal bonuses of rags and riches and such. While recharging, increase your strength by 1 and continue combos endlessly. Yes. Save this meal? Yes. There we go. Alright. Now we need to go through more of... So I've gone through Young Xehanort, Dark Riku, and now I have to deal with Saix, the fucking berserker dude. This is gonna be tough. Because he does like a moon phase or something, and I think he's invulnerable when he's on moon. What is he doing in the air like that?
Get away! It's over! I call on the moon's pale light.
Oh my god, and he has to
My day.
be so fine. Then boom. Horny. Yep, my day do be so fine until this point here. Alright, Koopa coin gets used up because I could not... Oh, damn it, stunned. There we go. Alright, get you out of the way. That's not what I wanted to do. No, 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 no. There we go. Damn, he stuns. Oh, his thingy-madiggy stuns me. That's what's doing it. That's annoying. Alright, let's see how much damage I do with the thingy-madiggy. Not a lot.
Back at you. Get away! Feel it. No escape.
Alright, so...
I call on the moon's pale light. This fight is over. It's over.
Why? Where's my elixir? I had elixir! I had elixir up the wazoo! Hang on. Prepare and retry. Customize. Magic, links. Fully... So there's my elixir. Items. I should have like a... There we go! I have like 38 elixirs. And a shit ton of MP potions. Equipment. Alright, so we got 3 high potions. 2 high ethers, and... I'm gonna throw an elixir... Actually, no, I'll throw an elixir at the bottom there, and then swap that to... 4, so swap these into high potions. these two into high ethers. That way I have like plenty of opportunities to do my healing, which, you know, gives me the leaf bracer I'm thingy-majiggy going off. Are you ready to close the menu and return to the action? Yes, I am. I have learned nothing in that match, but...
The moon shines down! No escape! Get away!
I'm blocking like too late. And there's me getting stunned. I need to probably give myself the stun immunity thing so then that way I don't have to worry about those kinds of abilities happening. Oh, it only gives me 2 elixirs. That's annoying. Alright. Do this so I can get my heals. Oh, it didn't heal me? And what the hell did I just activate? Oh, I activated Stitch is what I did.
Call on the moon's pale light. This fight is over. Expire. Expire.
Alright, let's see what this does.
Quote 335. What did I just activate? Oh, I activated Stitch.
Yep. Oh, and I still didn't get to activate the high potions that were in my item list. And that's me activating my Diggy.
That's all.
Alright, now he's vulnerable. Do not use the rage form. It is not worth it in fights like these, where I have, like, you know, a lot of...
No escape.
There we go.
Back off! I call on the moon's pale light. This fight is over. There!
And that's not what I wanted to do.
Nice! Break. Expire. 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 Abandon hope. It's over.
Stop.
Abandon hope. Abandon hope. It's over.
Hopefully he's not gaining health when I'm fighting him like this.
The moon shines down!
Stop doing your fucking immunity frames with the moon shining down on you like this.
I call on the moon's pale light. The fight is over. Abandon hope.
No, get me out. There we go.
It's over. Abandon hope.
Heal, 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 heal.
Break.
I used the high potion. Try this again. We can do this. Went further than most. It's just to get out of that, like, you know, being, you know. Alright, so that's his first health bar out of the way.
I call on the moon's pale light. The fight is over. It's over. Abandon hope.
That works.
Abandon hope. Inspire.
Nice.
Break. It's over. Abandon hope. It's
Go. Please tell me this heals me.
That's all. The moon shines down!
No, don't do the moon shines down when I was doing my finisher on you.
Take this.
Get away!
Try this.
Yo. Wish I could hit him.
Go. There.
I call on the moon's pale light. The fight is over. It's over. Abandon hope. Fire.
Heal.
Abandon hope.
There we go.
It's over. Break.
Heal. There.
sure. Let me just hit my finisher there when he's still in his... No, move, move, move! There we go. Change directions. What's happening to my... There we go. Nope. No, not the rage form! Oh, shit. Get out of that as quickly as I can. There we go. Oop. I didn't want to use the rage form then. Is he calling on the moon again?
Moon's pale light.
Take this.
Alright, hopefully that will help. Gets a little bit, but not a lot. Come on.
Back at you.
Abandon hope.
Nope.
Abandon hope.
Okay, Koopa Cone. I forgot I had that. Come on, get into my ultimate form soon.
Abandon hope.
There we go.
Fire.
Are you kidding me? Ah, so close that time. Who the fuck told me I had to go through Limitcut?
The moon shines down.
Somewhat so close and Fs. Yes, exactly. The Koopa Coin didn't even like activate until I was on his like last 2 or 3 bars as well, which tells me like I was doing as bang up of a job as I could of managing my health.
Fight is over. Abandon hope. Expire.
There we go. And there's me activating my ultimate too soon.
No. Abandon hope. Expire. Abandon hope.
And Koopa Coin gets like shot off too soon. Okay, why is it that like, you know, and when he does his Abandon Hope, half the time I can't break him out of his like, you know, his little thingy-majiggy, but that time around I was able to.
It's over.
Back at you. It's over.
No escape.
Activate that early.
I call on the moon's pale light. This fight is over. It's over.
I need to like avoid his. Nope. Stay out. I don't know if I can break him out of that little like running cycle there. That's the thing. Activate. There we go.
Abandon hope.
Got him.
Break. Expire.
Go. I really hope Leaf Bracer was gonna work on my high potion shit, but I guess not. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's try and get the rest of... Oh.
It's over. Expire.
Heal.
It's over.
Got him. There.
Not where I wanted to do that.
Abandon hope. Expire.
Back at you. Heal.
Expire. Expire. Abandon hope.
Back at you. Got him. Try this.
Take the ultimate form. Here we go.
Back at you. Yeah.
Yes! Oh my god, that took way too many turns to do. And it was like when I finally learned how to like just run away from his thingy-majiggy. Power rate grants a moderate boost in strength. Cool. Don't like it at all. Yes. Alright. That's 3 out of the way. Next one is... Larksony. Okay, that's the lightning lady. Let's see how we do.
Really? Do we have to do this?
Yes, we do.
See ya! What's the matter?
Could you, like, you know, not be immune to my hits, please, and just, you know, get juggled?
Take this. Worm. Here we go.
Oh, here she is, immune again.
What's the matter?
It's over. Go.
Worm! I will break you.
There. It's over.
What's the matter?
Heal. Back at you.
Bye-bye.
Try this.
It's time for you to go.
Here we go.
See ya. What's the matter? See ya. See ya. See ya. Now. Got him. See ya. See ya. There. What's the matter? Go on. What's the matter? See ya. Back at ya. Got him. Hey. There. What's the matter? Back at ya. Go.
Did it! Oh my gosh. Going through like the first three, it's like, oh, I'm gonna die like multiple times and having to learn shit. Whereas with Larceny, it's like, oh yeah, first try, and I didn't even have a Koopa coin as insurance in case I got too low of a health. And I got low like twice. What the fuck? Okay, alright, hang on a second. Let me just save this real quick. Overwrite that data. And she just gives me like a little, like a lowly, oh yes, you get to, no, I do not want you to overwrite that save. All right. There was an item that like permanently boosted my, yeah, here it is, magic boost. Yay, I now have a magic of 94 instead of 93. Berries off a mange. And let's see, so I've got power weight, which gives me a strength boost of 3, which, if I'm looking at it correctly, is not that useful at all. Koopa coin, thank you. I've still got like another 36 ethers. Thankfully, it's because of the fact that I'm only allowed to use like 2 at a time. Let's have... Do I still have my... Oh, I got a postcard. Yep, I still got my Berserk thingy-madiggy. Gummy phone, giving me all of this. Oh, Remind DLC. Sora comes to the world of ocean and sky, the final world. Sora finds himself here yet again, this time with Kairi's hand in his. But this time, Sora has a purpose. He has determined to reunite Chirithy with his friends. With a smile, Sora extends his hand. Let's go. Cool. And then we have the glossary, telling us about coat that wards darkness. A black coat worn by members of the Sword Dwarf, the corruption that permeates the dark. It is said that Xehanort has received the coat from man, claimed to be be one of the lost masters, but its origins remain shrouded in mystery. On another note, it seems that the armor worn by the apprentice of Eriquis possesses the same effect. An examination that... Yep, cool. Number I. Tear in the Fabric of Time, Young Xehanort's experiments, the Resundance thingy-madiggy, a promise Riku made with Terra during his boyhood days regarding the succession of the Keyblade. Terra had promised that if Riku were able to reach the place where he was, he would teach him how to protect the world and those he cared about. However, when Riku finally did reach Terra, his would-be mentor informed him with a hearty laugh that the very fact that he made it this far proves he already has the power he seeks. Cool. Awesome. And then we have like all these synthesis things. Alright. So yeah, because right now I have like the Royal Whip. Like all of these are giving me defense, which I think is way more important than, you know, boosts in damage. Because I need to survive their hits. Alright, next up is Zigbar. Alrighty, Zigbar, let's do your thing. Damn. An hour into this stream and already we defeated 2 of the thingy. Oh, fuck. He just has to be different, doesn't he?
You better run!
Oh. Alright, let's see what my rage form can do to him. Okay, so I can't. I have to like run. They had to like make the fucking arena for him in order to make this like a difficult. Oh, there we go.
Think fast. Take this.
Got him. Here we go.
Alrighty, now I get my teleportation nonsense.
You better run. Start dancing. Think fast.
Pain. And there's the Koopa coin rather than the high potion. This better not be just a having to dodge, having to block every single one of his thingamadiggies. Because I'm gonna be honest, that is a tiddly amount of damage if I just block all of his things, and that's the trick to this game. Oh, not this fucking field again. Not this fucking field again.
You better run.
Oh, come on.
This one's special.
There's the height. Oh.
New backdrop. Gotcha.
When Zigbar moves, act fast and press to land a quick shot. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hell yeah!
It's over.
Hey, watch it. Start dancing.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You better run.
That did not help whatsoever.
Heal.
Watch it. Think fast.
2, 3. Out.
New backdrop.
Did I already use all my elixirs? That doesn't sound right. Hang on. How am I supposed... Okay, prepare and thingamadiggy. Alright, items. Hi there, Icy. No, this isn't Rox's. This is, Sora. Alright, first and foremost, yep. Keep it to elixir. I'm gonna change the plasma to... Thing is that elixirs and high potions... I'll swap this to high potion, so then that way that's a quick select thing. And I'm gonna change the water gut into... Creates it around the pool's foes in. You can use the whirlwind as a springboard. I need to think of... Strikes a wide area with lightning, electric, making them harmful to other enemies. Launches a chunk of ice. Launches a fire that creates a huge explosion if colliding. I think I might go for... I think Blizzaga? No. I think Thunderga will help because that was like a range thingy-majiggy. Because Waterga is... Yeah, it just surrounds me. It doesn't give me any blockers whatsoever. It would have been nice if Aeroga gave me a barrier, but I guess that's why they kept Kiraga being like as strong as it is. Yeah, and I don't have... What's this? Provides temporary immunity. Nah. I think I got what I want. Because, yeah, the Dream Eaters, Wreck-It Ralph, none of those will be helpful. So, yeah, Thunderga, Kiraga, Elixir, and High Potion. That should be A-okay. Who is sending me messages? All right. Thank you for the peck dance, Yizin. Welcome, welcome. All right, attempt number 2.
Backdrop.
All right, here we go with the fucking... There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
You better run. This one's special.
Shit. I'm not a huge fan of this guy, honestly, in terms of this blocking nonsense. Because, like, his blasts hit me hard, but they do nothing to him.
Think fast.
And I'm already, like, I'm just gonna wait for him to kill me on this one, actually. Because you're a little late, speech bubble. The speech bubble can be a bit late. I'm just gonna wait for him to kill me on this one, because I've already, like, effed up on a lot of the blocks and shit, and I don't want to, like, waste my time on this one. So, we're gonna skip attempt number 2 and move on to attempt number 3. Come on, kill me. Oh my god, yeah, he doesn't hit hard. It's just... It's a very stunny sort of hit. 3, 2, 1. There we go. It's just a very stunny sort of hit. Alrighty. When you block enough red projectiles and deflect them back, the situation command showdown becomes available. Okay. So it's whenever I do the blocks on his. I was hoping I could... I just wish it was available on this one here. Because, like, I hit him, like, a number of times. Maybe it's because I get hit with the...
Think fast.
1, 2, 3. And then he does his, like...
Start dancing.
You think a showdown would have enabled with this one? And here I am, like...
Better run.
Showdown! There we go. Alright, here we go. Alright, once he does his move. 3, 2, 1, and excellent.
I see how it is.
You think you can take on an American in a high noon match?
Watch it.
Back at you.
Gotcha. Heads up.
Ultimate form engaged. I can take him on.
Watch it.
Back off.
Think fast.
2, 3.
This one's special.
It's over. Take this. Over here.
Watch it. You better run.
2, 3. 1, 2. Ah, damn it. 3, 2.
Heads up. Take this.
Okay, I thought I did enough of a block on that one.
Think fast.
3, 2, 1. Come on, give me your showdown. Damn it. 3, 2, 1. Damn it, I fell down at the wrong time.
You better run.
Heal. Nice. Yeah.
Start dancing. So what do you think?
3, 2, 1.
Think fast.
Come on, just...
Back at you.
All right, here we go. Another one. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Let's make it interesting.
No, 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 no.
You can't get away. You better run.
Am I supposed to, like, just dodge these ones instead of blocking them? Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
You better run.
Nice. Heal.
There's my Koopa coin because I'm an idiot.
This one's special.
Damn it.
Think fast.
I think I would have...
Back off! Heal! Got him!
Gotcha.
Back at you!
Come on, give me the showdown.
You better run. New backdrop.
Fuck.
Think fast.
3, 2, 1. Three,
Start
2,
dancing.
1. That's not great. I don't have any... Oh, shit.
New backdrop.
Shit, 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 shit. Just get me heals.
This is the end of the road for you.
Okay. Got high potion, and I got mega potion. Customize. Wait, do I not have... So I got my customize here. I got the magic, I got the links. Elixirs and high potion. Oh, wait, hang on. No. It's an equipment that I need to fix my things. Alright, so... High potion. High potion. Enable auto reload on those 5 high wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then... High ether. And we'll do elixir. Auto refill on those. So we have 5 high potions and 2... Actually, you know what? I'll swap this to high ether. Auto refill from stock after the end of each battle. Is there anything better I can use than the Cosmic Belt? Because the Cosmic Belt... Damage Siphon might be helpful in terms of, like, you know, filling up my, what's-a-mahoozy. Hang on, what's... Yeah, recover MP. It might help with the MP stuff, but it might only work when, you know, I'm getting the... Alright, hang on a sec. So I'm at 51%. Alright, let's see. Moderate boost in magic gives me +3. This one gives me a boost in defense, and it gives me the item boost, which increases the effect of healing items. This might be the better one, because it gives me the generic fire and blizzard defense. Frontline photographer will not help me whatsoever. Electric, freeze, cloud, burn. This gives me the bracelet. Because none of his stuff is lasers. It's not like an element. So that's power, that's magic. Hero Glove might be the better one to use since it will give me the item boost. Mickey's Clasp, however, I could probably... Where's the Flaniversary? Decrease, yeah, MP cost by 20%. That does 20. This one does 30, though, and this one continue magic combos as long as you like. Okay, so I'm probably still worth keeping the Mickey Clasp. Cuisine still applies. and I have no allies with me. Would be great to have allies, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, see. I need to know of the like the better way of
This one's special.
3, 2. Ah, damn it.
So what do you think?
3, 2, 1. All right, here, showdown. This gives me a chance to like do some hits on him. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh yeah?
Back off!
Watch it.
Heal! Back at you!
Come on, give this a showdown. You know you want the showdown. Come on.
Start dancing.
Back at you!
Alright, please do not do a scene change on me. I understand that I need healing code. Welcome to the stream. Excuse me while I, like, battle this guy down to the fucking ground.
Back at you! Go! There!
Hopefully that does some good hits. Yes, it does. Okay, I thought I dodged it. I thought I blocked those things.
Take this! Back at you!
Okay, cool. Now I've got him.
Go long!
Let's make it interesting.
Oh god, not this one.
You can't get away.
Heal!
You better run.
Nice!
Could be nice if you stopped hitting me like this.
Yeah!
Come on. Just get my ultimate form going. There we go. Do not do a chain in scenery, please.
Back off! Heal!
This one's special. Take this. Heads up! Heads up! Think fast!
And he doesn't do any of that.
Heal!
Come on. Again, I can't roll. I have to, like, block. Do a showdown, please. And I think that's my bigger issue, is when he does the big thingy-madiggy, it's like I don't even have like the room to roll out of that.
Run! So what do you think? Think fast.
Nice.
Start dancing.
Yeah, why does that push me back? So yeah. Also, how am I supposed to avoid that? Yeah, they really want me to use... Oh, Jesus.
So what do you think?
That's the other thing as well, is like, I have to somehow, like, either block his 5-hit thingy-madiggy, or...
You better run.
My only hope of, like, doing some reasonable hits on him is if I can somehow start Showdown on him, but that only applies if I can, you know, redirect all his, And my Koopa coin is done at a bad time.
Think fast.
3, 2, 1.
This is the end of the road for you.
He holds his blasters a little like Axel. I imagine that's just because they had to make 13 Organization 13 members, and they, you know, they had to cut corners here and there. So that's my thought. But yeah, my goodness, fuck this guy.
No backdrop.
Like, I understand I need to do like a shit ton of blocks. It's just annoying that it's like I have to do a shit ton of blocks. And some of them are bullshit, like when he has to do this one. Amazingly enough, I actually succeeded on that one. With only a minor amount of damage. And then here's his...
Start dancing. So what do you think?
Alright, there we go. We do the showdown. Because this is like my best chance of being able to get hits on him.
I see how it is.
Because yeah, I get like basically like an entire health bar out of him. And then if I do the juggling enough...
Heads up. Heads up!
Got him!
Gotcha!
Take this! Here!
And I rolled instead of blocked.
You better run! This one's special!
Just using this just to...
Think fast!
Come on, do a showdown. You know you want to. Another showdown, please.
Heads up!
Back at you. Back off. Back at you.
You better run! Heads up! New backdrop!
Fuck you. 1, 2, 3.
Think fast! Start dancing!
Yeah, I don't know how to deal with that.
New backdrop!
Give me showdown, please. There we go. All right, we got another chance. Did you get another Koopa coin at least? Because I failed, the last Koopa coin is still with me. There we go.
Oh yeah? Hey, watch it!
It's just annoying that it's like I do all these ones and it's like I don't get another like showdown thingy-majiggy popping up.
Back at you. Got him.
Take this!
3, 2, 1. Come on, just give me my showdown. You know you want to try again. Oop. Almost did it too soon again.
Think fast!
2, 1.
Nice.
3,
This
2,
one's special.
1.
Heads up! You better run!
Come on, give me showdown. And I completely forgot to block that one.
Take this! Think fast!
It's always that last few that I miss out on.
You better run! Start
3,
dancing!
2, 1. What's the technique with that guy?
So what do you think? Take this! Heads up!
Use the
Come
force
on.
Grantis. Use
I'm
the force.
using it.
You better run!
Come on, give me Shoke.
Let's
Not
make it
this one.
You can't get away!
How am I supposed to dodge this shit? Oop.
This one's special! Think fast!
Come on, give me a showdown. It's my best way of being able to... Ah!
Thank you Code the Yoshi for the 19-month tier 1 sub.
Thank you, Code. I don't know why I didn't get yeeted at that point, but... 3, 2, 1.
You better run!
Heal.
Damn it.
New backdrop! Think fast!
Come on, give me another showdown, please. You paid for yeeting. I will try and... I'll try and figure out why. It's just right now, I'm in a bit of a situation where... Then desert you. I'm in a bit of a situation. Because he hasn't given me my showdown in a while now. 3, 2, 1.
So what do you think?
3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, hopefully this will do it. Focus. Got him. And he uses up all my focus when I do that.
See ya.
This is the most annoying match because it's like most of my damage is coming from deflecting his bullets into him, and I can't do any of my big hits until there's a showdown, which he doesn't do often enough.
Back off.
Heads up!
Back at you. Back off. Over here.
Oh, is this it? 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 Alrighty, let's try.
Think fast!
There's my Koopa coin.
This one's special!
Let's see how this goes.
You better run!
Take this.
Yes, 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 yes! Yes! Did it! It only took me like 5 tries with this man, but I did it! Oh, this is so much easier than the other times I've had to deal... than all the other bosses I've had to deal with. Alrighty then. What did I miss in terms of redeems? There was someone who did... So there was some titty bounce. Alright, hang on. First, completed. The bigger, completed. Actually, I can say completed on all the biggers. Because there's like 15 of them. And then... Hydrate by Bestest Boy, which I did. 20 squats, which I did. Alrighty. Let me check Vignan and see why it didn't do the subscribe thingy-madiggy. Alright, so because... Let's see. Health system. Throwables. Yep. Alright, defaults. Drop something. Subscription. Send signal. There we go. You happy, code? Alright, so that was... So that's 5 of them out of the way. I now need to purchase... I'm at level 99 as well for this one to make it just a little bit easier for me. You wanted yours sooner? I was in the middle of a death-defying... Oh my gosh, just let me aim. I was in the middle of a death-defining match. I wonder if there's a benefit in... Don't care, you paid for yeet. Radio. So we can because I have like 2... Because I can use like 2 elixirs per match. So there's no point in purchasing more elixirs. Maybe I can put the high... Because I got high potion, and it wants to use 5 of them. And I can buy 99 potions. Ow. It only costs... Sure. And then... Yep, got a postcard. Thank you for that. And then if I go to customize, I'm gonna swap out the Thundergut for potion. Hopefully they give me a lot of potions. Hello there. Alrighty. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, number 6. This one I think is Ansem. Yep, Ansem. Here we go. And there he is.
Sleep in darkness. Come forth. Prepare. Embrace the dark.
Yeah, rather not.
Back at you! Got him! Heal!
Embrace the dark.
Back at you! So long!
Furrycures 1221 paid me to say stinky.
Oh my god. A little bit busy right now.
Got him! There!
And that's a waste of... Oh, it does a little bit, I guess.
Begins and ends in darkness. Prepare.
Heal!
Prepare.
Cool, so I can block those.
Back off! Back at you!
Embrace the dark.
It's not showing your guardian.
What? Oh, what are you doing now?
Potions.
Oh shit, you're right, it is. Ow.
Back at you! Go! Back off! There!
And that's a waste.
This guy went from shadow clone to full-blown penta.
Surrender to it!
Try this!
Hang on. A little bit busy.
Back at you! Yeah! Go! Yeah! So long!
Embrace the dark!
There!
Hopefully that... Yep, he's in range.
Surrender to it!
Just stop with the gravitational magic, please. There we go. Oh, here he is with his darkness again. 3, 2, 1.
Desist, shadow! Return to darkness!
Back at you! Got him! Yeah! Go! There! So long! Nice!
Shadow! Desist.
Try this!
There we go. And I'm pretty sure turning that on... Ding, ding, ding. Did it! Alright, that only took me... Was that my first attempt or was that my second attempt? Permanently raises defense by 1. Yes, please. I would like to use that. Do I still... That was my first attempt? Awesome. Did I use a Koopa coin is the next question. Hang on. Nope, didn't use a Koopa coin. My goodness, some of these bosses, it's like, yes, absolutely. I am going to be able to kick their ass and such. And then there are others where I'm like, I have no fucking clue how I'm supposed to beat this. Like, let's just do a recap.
Set up potions.
I did set up potions, but I think the problem is that because I have both potions and high potions in there, it doesn't want both of them in there. So I'm gonna swap them over to high ether in there. Because I think that's the problem, is that I can't have both potions and high potions in my thingy-madiggy. Because, like, and also they're auto-fillable here. But yeah, so. Young Xehanort with the time, fucking annoying. Dark Riku with his, you know, stun-locking nonsense, annoying. This guy wasn't the worst, but I at least got rid of him. Larcene was a fucking laugh, because... I did my typical idea of, let me just hit things really, really hard, and it worked. Meanwhile, Zigbar, annoying that I had to, like, basically just do blocking the mechanic. Ansem, he was difficult. He was, like, more difficult than Larcene to the feels of it.
Responding yet.
But, alright, who's this one? Zenmis. Alright, let's see how Zenmis does. Alrighty. Dun, 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 dun.
Why resist the emptiness?
Back at you! Yeah! Take this!
MENSEX.
Here we go!
Have you ever done these code, like the Limitcut, like the super hard bosses?
No, I didn't have Remind.
Yeah. He's just blocking everything of mine, isn't he?
will be getting it later on my PS4 and I plan to go through the remaining KH games in a few months.
Okay, that will be cool. I will definitely need to try and watch that and see how you take on all this nonsense, because some of it is bullshit. Some of it is absolute bullshit. To be fair, with Zigbar, once you work out you could attack while he's doing certain attacks to the end, you can start taking him out sooner. I was just very passive at the start. He was very far away, okay?
It's over. Back at you.
Going to be running Ultima runs, meaning all my games need to end with Ultima weapon.
Okay. Well, Ultima weapons are really fun, I will be real. The only one I was able to get properly done was Kingdom Hearts 3, as you see. I don't know if it's like the easiest one, but I was able to get that done before Endgame, which was, you know, why I did it.
Here we go.
There we are. I've done a fairly good management of my,
Also nothing to be done off stream.
Nothing's to be done off stream? I don't know about that one. That is a lot of,
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Back off.
Don't know if that was a good one, because he's immune during all that. And I just wasted an elixir on this. Nope, rage form was not what I wanted to enable.
No escape.
Let me get you done. That way you're out of the way while I do this, and then cure. Jesus. Oh, I'm stunned right now.
Back at you.
Leaving first. Leaving Grapple. To the void. Leaving stride. Be gone.
Come on.
It's over. Back in.
Race.
And got him. Back at you.
Leaving
Heal. Got him. There.
There we go. Ultimate form. Again. Kingdom Hearts 3 is tied for the easiest with Kingdom Hearts for the main game. Wait, are you meaning in game in terms of like completing the main story, or for getting the Ultima weapon? I just want to hit him. That gives me a precious extra few seconds of health. Ow. Who hit me with a pipe? Sonic did. Okay, darn you. There we go. Come on. Alright, let's get our combo up. There we go. Ding. Alright. Cookie! Oh, cookie from Masonic. I can't give you my right hand because right now that's pressing the A button really rapidly.
Feel the emptiness.
Nope, damn it. Okay, this is not gonna be fun.
Take this. Heal. Back at you. There.
No, that doesn't hit anything, you nimmy!
No escape.
Come on, there we go. Oh. Is his health not going down this entire time? Come on. No, 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 no! Oh, you bastard! No! Fuck! He was on his last health! He was invulnerable the entire time I was in this little, like...
Back at you.
No more.
Back off.
Fucking bastard.
Leaving.
No, I'm not leaving. You are in my way.
There.
Oh. He was on his last health, and I was gonna do like the infinite corridor thing or something. So then that way, like, you know, I just need to, you know, have to aim at him. But he was just invulnerable so many times.
Back off.
Leaving.
Back at you.
Alright, that does a little bit of hits.
Back at you.
Leaving. 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 Leaving.
That was a close one.
Be gone. No more. Leaving.
No, not the rage form, you nimmy!
Pay attention.
People beat every one of these bosses at level 1 on critical, taking 0 damage. That does not make it feel better for me.
Leaving. Leaving. Be gone.
Take this.
Leaving.
So yeah, because I used the rage form, I wasted on getting an ultimate.
Try this.
There we go. Because here's the thing, is telling me, oh, people can take it on at level 1 means it, like, downplays the merit of me being able to beat this under normal circumstances.
Leaving. Be gone. Leaving. No more. Leaving. Stride. Be gone.
There.
And I have no clue where he is.
It's over. Nice. Back at you.
Are you ready?
Back at you.
Leaving.
Heal.
Leaving.
Got him.
There we go. They spent time studying and learning what mechanics to such an unnecessary level, a self-challenge, if you will. Don't feel bad because of that. Well, here's the thing is, I do not have the time to do that, like, whole, you know, study and discipline thing. I am autistic as fuck trying to work a full-time job. I do not have the time or the patience to commit to only one game like this. Have you seen me play?
No more. Did you see it?
Nope, did not see it.
Back up! Back at you!
Pay attention.
Back at you! Over here!
Come on.
See ya! Right there!
There we are. Enjoy the game and have fun. Will do.
Emptiness.
No, don't give me the emptiness bullshit again.
Back at you!
No escape.
Heal! There!
And it does barely any on him. Come on, stay alive. And this is me when I... No, don't use the Koopa coin at this time.
No escape.
No, this is a bad time. There we go, 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 there we go. And I'm stunned.
Back at you!
Be gone.
Got him!
To the void. Leaving. Right. Leaving. Erase.
Oh my goodness. Here's the thing is I don't know when his when he stops doing his like fun little attacks and such like that. I don't know when I'm like able to just start rope-a-doping him. There we go, ultimate form. Oh, you motherfucker! So I did worse that time. Oh. Here we go. I missed out on some like critical blocks.
Take this! Got him! Right there!
There we go. What level am I? 99. After our like most recent.
Back at you! Got him! Go! So long!
Why is he asking me if I'm leaving? We're in a fucking arena. And there I am wasting my final.
Be gone.
And I'm mistiming my, like, blocks.
Leaving. Erase. Leaving. Be gone. Leaving.
Here we go.
There we go. And my leap motion has stopped working for a bit. Because apparently my CPU was having a very hard time trying to follow my PlayStation 5 playing this video game. Cannot wait for the new CPU. Just stop. Stop kicking me in the dick! That is the only reason I can surmise he's able to, like, just start hitting me like he is. Come on. Where the fuck is he?
The underscore phantom underscore master 117 paid me to say circus afro circus afro polka dot afro. Uranizak has added quote number 338. Stop kicking me in the duck.
Yep. I'm not even like a third of a way there, and I'm already feeling my ass getting kicked by this guy. Stop it. Oh no, not the rage form. That's not what I want. Get out of it, get out of it, get out of it, get out of it, get out of it. I need to get out of this as soon as I can. Nope, that's not what I wanted, you motherfucker. Stop kicking me.
Be gone. Leaving.
Back off.
No more.
Eat this, motherfucker.
Try this.
Just wanted to drop by and say hi. Hi there, Phantom. I am getting my... Oh, not this realm again. And I mistimed it. Yeah, he barely gets any damage when he's stuck in this form. And I mistimed the... There we go.
Be gone.
And there's me mistiming it again.
Be gone. I vanish to the void.
You gotta go. You just wanted to drop by and say hi. Not to worry, Phantom. There are some quality of life mods on the PC that fix the janky hitbox. Unfortunately, I'm not playing on the PC through the Epic Game Store or something like that. This is the PS5. I am going to need to quickly get the laundry out of my... I need to quickly get the laundry out of my washing machine, because otherwise it's going to be all damp and shit like that, because I left that on. In the meantime, you're going to deal with a long-ass advertisement. This is so then that way I do not feel absolutely rageful when I go back into this. I don't feel very lucky. $60, $120. I'm back. I have returned. Do people have questions? It looks like people have questions. Back into the chat room. Is the advertisement still going off? No, it isn't. Do I need to put a spoiler tag in Discord if there aren't nipples on the boobs? Male boobs. If there's no nipples or genitalia, I don't think there needs to be a spoiler tag on it. But do be aware that if it is like, you know, a not safe for work thingy-majiggy, normally erring on the side of caution is better than, you know, risking it for the biscuit. Color me curious. What in the world is it that you're sharing? Also, what is my watch doing? No, stop listening to my conversation, Siri. You're not helpful when I ask you to be helpful. Let's see. New quotes. Yep. 338. Stop hitting me in the dick. Who is this person? Strange little... Don't know who that is. Absolute insanity. Do people not pick up on the fact that I'm in the middle of streaming at this hour? But yeah. Normally, if it like looks not safe for work, it's probably better putting it in the not safe for work content. And I'll probably tell, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, oh yeah, no, this is fine. You could have checked your Discord. I'm not seeing any. Oh, memes. Here it is. Unfeminize my fem. Unfeminize your femboy. Yeah, no, that worked. I'm fine. Okay, I'm fine with that. I think that's a fun meme. That's funny. Unfeminizes your femboy. I'm gonna fucking at Slinky for that one. It's definitely not porn or sexual. It's anti-femboy propaganda. Look, I am fine with all forms of the boy, whether it's the masculine, the bear, the femboy, or the androgynous. So I find it funny because, you know, it is just for the sake of things. It is funny. But yeah. This is not a condoning for you to attack femboys. They are precious beings and, you know, some of them might just be, you know, their feelings might get hurt with that kind of talk. So, but either way, it's funny. I like it. Good meme, so long as it's not toxic. All right, hit the pause, hit the retry. Let's go again. Maybe getting up and walking around and doing laundry for 2 minutes is going to help. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Leaving. Be gone.
And I wasted an elixir. That was not what I wanted to waste.
Pay attention. Be gone.
Back at you. Take this.
Uranizak has added quote number 339. Maybe you getting up and walking around for a few minutes is going to help. Oh, no it didn't.
Thank you, Zach, for capturing this moment of just not helping. It's like, oh, maybe walking around, getting some fresh air will stop me being molding at a video game. No, it will not. I would just have to continue molding at a video game. I think my issue is like, he just does moves like those, where it's just like, he seems unaffected by the fact I am, you know, wailing on him with the Ultima Blade. I'm just gonna hit him with this move. And it does no damage whatsoever because he's all the way on the ground.
Back at you. Back off. Heal.
Could you just let me, you know, hit you consistently without throwing your weird, like, nobody balls? There we go.
Heal.
There we go. Some consistent hits there.
Back at you.
Be gone. No more.
And what in the world am I hitting? Just make him angry, then he'll make mistakes and you'll stab him in the butt? How do I make him angry? I can block and I can attack and I can dodge.
Back at you.
No more. Leaving. Be gone.
There we go. All right, let's wail on him. All right, a little bit of damage, but not a lot. Well, his hair is ugly, but I don't think he gives a shit about that. The old man is a nobody. The issue I have is when, like, I don't have, like, a clear indicator of, like, you know, when I should just be blocking and rolling. Oop. I just want to hit them. Just let me hit things. Why do I have to learn attack patterns?
Nice. Here we go.
And it's annoying that he has his, like, walls placed in the perfect... And here he is getting barely any hits whatsoever done. There we go. Zen, this is the least satisfying fight of them all by far. I have had to go, like, my first two fights, Ono, I don't know how to say your name. You're probably gonna need to do the TTS bot to help tell me. My first two fights were the young Xehanort, and here he is in darkness.
No escape.
That does not help me whatsoever, because... Nope.
No escape.
Uraniazak paid me to say what do you get when you unscramble
No.
Man sex.
Damn it.
You get man sex? Embrace the man sex, Zebra.
No, I'm not going to embrace man sex. There we go. All right, so he's technically 4 health bars away, but...
Take this. Heal. Back at you. Yeah. Yeah. There. So long. Yeah.
Are you ready? Be gone. more. Leaving?
Back off!
Be gone.
Yeah!
No.
Try this!
All right, here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on, just get him low enough so I can do my infinite corridor thing.
Feel the emptiness.
Damn it.
No escape.
Alright. No, let me do the heals. Let me do the heals.
Nice!
I vanish to the void.
Sorry. Sorry about that. That was painful. I absolutely despise his, like, magic, like, fucking thingy-madoogie where he just, like, puts you in this weird orb of lasers everywhere. And if he's in this orb of lasers, he just takes reduced damage. It's absolute bullshit. No thank you. Don't do that. Please don't. And I'm already, like, hang on. Nope. How do I just, you know, close the application? That would be great. Because already I am... Close it, get back into it, and then we'll, you know, have our fun. Let me back in? Cool. Because if he opens up with those hits and I'm not able to block them, I am just in for, like, just a bad sort of time. Man, if only I had, like, save states like it is with emulations, I'd just be like, nope, bad run, F5. Bad run, F5. Bad run, F5. Just have, like, that way I'm, like, you know, always, you know, at the critical end instead of having to, like, go through, you know, 90% of the battle all over again. Checking save data. Yes, thank you. All right. Now, let me have a proper look at your name. Oni Linkle. Wait, Oni Linkle? Hopefully that's your name, Oni Linkle. I don't want to get copyright striked for trying to listen to your music, because that is not the point of this game. I'm sorry, Disney and Square Enix, but you might think your music is extra special, but in actuality, it is not. Your music is just that. It's music. You just go extra because of the copyright infringement nonsense. Quite frankly, it would be great if companies, if they did repetitious, you know, copyright strikes and such, and it turns out that, you know, fair use gets hit on them and such like that, I feel like there should be a case of, look, you've wasted the court's time, you've wasted this person's time, you will get a demerit on this nonsense. There needs to be, like, a central body to manage... Yep, got my Koopa rings. Got those potions, absolutely meaningless. I got all that high... I can only use the high ether once, as from what it looks like. Let's see. Got these two things. What's... Oh, no, do not get rid of that. I need that. Strike an enemy with a quick step upwards. Charge far away while blocking. Oh yeah, what do my abilities do? After taking damage to get right back up. After a successful aerial, press to block. Ow. Kick. Press X after performing a to instantly move next to the target and continue blocking. Press right after an enemy breaks your guard to perform a variety of special evasive actions. You can counterattack while risk dodging by pressing X. Strike an enemy with a quick upward slash. Magic Flash. Issue a flash of magic that sends foes flying. Your magic stat determines damage. While performing... Yep, cool. To your... Cost no. You'll absorb focus from the target you lock onto. Team up with Donald. Team up with Donald. Team up with Goofy. Super jump, super glide. Disable recharging when MP runs out. Only cure magic and link commands will trigger a recharge. Use healing items and magic on friends. Automatically lock onto targets when attacking with magic. Combo plus, air combos, combo master. Increase the damage you deal with reprisal. Always finish casting recovery magic even if you're hit by attacks in the process. So yeah, the Leaf Bracer doesn't work for items, annoyingly enough. Reduce MP cost by 1 with each successful magic cast. In proportion to the length of the combo. Automatically trigger the finish command. Automatically draw in, yep. And then the Master Magnet. No matter how far away. Okay, I can probably disable those two things. Recover 3 MP with each successful recharge MP 10% faster. Extend the available period of Grand Magic. Attractions, Link Extender. Have the damage you take when your MP is at 25 or below. Alright, so 216, so I only need so much. Which means I can now swap out this thing for something a little more substantial. Maybe this Orichalcum ring, so then that way I have a higher strength. And it gives me the Cure Converter, which is... fill situation... No, not that one. Oh, actually, no, maybe that one. Let's go Orichalcum, and then let's have a look at what else can be applied that might be better. What's Defender? Potentially increase when you're... No. Magic, HP Converter, Money Converter, Damage Siphon. Maybe the Damage Siphon? Doesn't give me a big boost in strength, but it does boost my magic a little bit. Fire, Thunder, Boost. And then this gives me HP Walk. Let's have a look. MP Haste. This one gives me haste and Blizzard thingamadoog. Nah, I think I've got what I want. So I got the 1 elixir. Maybe I should swap, instead of having so many high ethers, maybe I should have more elixirs. Because that way the elixir gives me like the full health and gives me the full MP, which is what I want. Because using the high ether doesn't really help me that much in comparison. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should be better. Alright. Save this real quick. So yeah, because I'm like, if I can get this guy, then I'm halfway through. Here we go.
Why?
Because I don't need all those abilities that are Donald and Goofy related.
Back off!
No more. Leaving. Leaving. Leaving.
Take this! Back at ya!
Leaving.
Is it me or is he faster? Nope. Wrong ability. That was a waste of a Koopa coin as well. I did it I did it in a scenario where it's like I had multiple opportunities to be able to do my cure thing. Alright, let's see how much damage I can do here.
No more. Be gone.
Back at you.
Erase.
There.
Just gonna activate his dumb.
Yeah. Got him. Back at you. Got him. See ya. Here we go.
There we are. Hopefully we do better here.
Back at you. Back at you. Yeah. There. It's over.
Yeah, if I do the furniture on my own terms, then that's like a infinitely better usage of the...
Heal.
No more.
Back off. Over here. There.
There we go.
Be gone. No more. Leaving. Erase.
Yeah. There. So long.
And here he is doing his darkness move. This is not going to be fun.
No escape. I vanish to the void.
I wasted the coin at the start, so obviously... And I forgot to read the tips about his Sorn thingy-madiggies.
Back off. Take this. Got him. It's over.
Insolence. Be gone.
Back at you. Try this.
Alright. Gets a little bit of hits from that.
Leaving.
Back at you.
To the void.
Got him. Yeah. Go.
Be
Back
gone.
off. Yeah. Yeah. Go.
No.
There. It's over. Back off. Over here. Get there.
Oh, I am fucking cracked right now.
Yeah.
And he puts us in darkness way too quickly.
Back at you.
And I mistimed it again.
No escape.
Here we go.
Be gone. Be gone.
Nice.
No, not what I wanted to do.
Try this. Take this! Back off! Back at you! There! It's over! Got him! Heal!
Be gone.
Back at you! There!
Come on, you can do this.
Are you ready? Be gone.
Back at you!
Stride.
Back at you! Heal!
No more.
There!
And once again, I'm wasting the finisher on...
Be gone. I vanish to the void.
Oh! Of the light projectiles that launches in all directions, the blue ones cannot be blocked, so avoid them at all cost. Cool. Doesn't help me.
Back at you! Take this!
Erase. Be gone.
Back at you! Back off! Take this!
No more.
That's the...
It's over! Try this!
There we go. I hate how his, like, weird tentacle thingamajiggies just pull me up or down.
Pay attention. To the void.
It's over! Yeah!
Leaving. To the void. Leaving. Stride.
Back at you! Got him! Take this! Here we go!
Here we are.
Back at you! Got him!
Nope, stop it, stop it.
No more.
And he flies away. Of course he does.
Be gone. Any attention? No more. Leaving? No. Leaving? Be gone.
Come on. Thank you, Fizz, for the head pats. I think my personal annoyance with this guy is just like, I don't want to have to learn this.
There! It's over!
Oh boy, here we go again.
No escape. Be gone. Be gone.
Cookie for Night Sky. I can't give you the cookie right now because I'm in the middle of a boss fight and I need to use... There we go, there we go. Oop, nope. No, no, no. And of course he hits me just as I get out of the stun.
Leaving? Leaving?
Here we go!
Alright, there we go. I'm always getting him down to like maybe the last bit or not, and I can't do my shot lock on him.
No more.
Take this!
Leaving? Be gone. Be gone.
Heal! Yeah! Back at you!
Any attention?
Take this! Over here!
There we go. Come on. Hi, Sky.
Night Sky Jim paid me to say I believe in you, like how you believe in your t-shirt holding in your massive muscles you do.
Yep.
Got him!
No more. Leaving?
Heal! There!
Be gone.
It's over! Yeah! See ya!
Alright, hopefully this actually does a hit. This no, Zapper, don't take my oh, you bastard! I did my infinite corridor thing and he...
escape. Be gone. Be gone. Hey.
Almost there, almost there. Hopefully this does it. This isn't what I wanted. Thank you for the 13 months.
13-month prime sub. 13-month hype.
I don't know why it's not doing the...
Feel the emptiness.
No, 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 no.
No escape.
Okay.
No escape.
I don't have any more potions.
Be gone.
I'm freezing my nuts off!
You were right. That was... Attack from the Blackthorns deal no damage. Good to know. They're still annoying as fuck as they move me out of position. Oh. Mmm. I don't know if it's supposed to... I'm not too sure if I'm supposed to block in that moment rather than try and heal, is the thing. It happens every time, and every time I miss out. If I block in midair, I have like no...
No more. Leaving. Leaving. Leaving.
Back off! Back at you! Got him! Take this! Try this!
Yeah, like, I can't block him when he does that. It's like I have to most likely dodge.
Take this! Back at you! Back at you! There!
And I'm having it do the special when he's not vulnerable.
Leaving. No more.
Take this! Heal!
Leaving. Strike. To the vault. Leaving. Erase. Leaving.
Got him!
Leaving. To the vault.
And I pressed the wrong thing.
Leaving.
Is it worth? I am going to ask this right now, and I want a straight answer from people. Is it worth actually completing this? Because if it's just for like a cutscene, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. Especially for a cutscene that I've probably already seen like 3 or 4 times over now, which is the fucking, you know, Sora and Riku waking up in like some random modern city, and it's just that dude with heterochromia that we've seen in the Toy Story game. Is it just that cutscene again? Because I'm gonna tell you, I've seen it twice now. Once on base level Kingdom Hearts 3, and another time on Remind. It does not make it better. No idea? Oh, joy.
Back at you!
Nope. I just wish that when I swapped forms, it gave me my... Like, I wish it would heal me full and such like that, rather than, you know, making me have to use Cure when I do the form change.
There! It's over!
Leaving.
Take this!
To the vault. Leaving. Be gone.
Heal! Try this!
Pay attention.
Got him! Back at you! Got him! There! So long! Yeah!
And cutscenes, but everything but beating... Oh.
Level.
Back at you. Here we go. It's over.
I vanish to the void.
You beat the data organization, and then there's a cutscene, and then the final secret boss, and then 1 or 2 cutscenes based on if you win or lose. I swear to Christ, if it's just... Hang on a second. Kingdom Hearts... What is it? Limit... It's Limitcut, right? Yep, Limitcut... Ending. How long is this ending? If it's less than 2 minutes, I'm probably just gonna watch it on YouTube or some shit. Also, why is my internet so slow now? It's the setup for the next Kingdom Hearts game, which... Oh, unresponsive. Exit page. My goodness, everything is... It's approximately 8 minutes? Alright, I'll give 8 minutes a try.
Back off. Back at you.
Leaving. Be gone. Leaving. Insolence. Stride. Be gone.
If it's in my inbox if I change my mind. I am most likely going to change my mind if I do not succeed on this one. Because I'm going to be real with you. It feels like more bullshit as I go further into this fight. Especially with the number of times I've, like, made close calls, and I've still failed because of his little shadow of a darkness where I get stunned after blocking. So even if I succeed on blocking all of his thingy-madiggies, I'm still stunned. And he falls below my ultimate. Nope, I'm sorry. Fuck this. Options. Close. I'm sorry, but that is not worth 8 minutes. That fucking gauntlet of bosses at level 99 and with the Ultima Blade, I'm sorry. It can't possibly be worth it. All right, close that tab. Close that tab. Get the Discord open. What is my CPU at? Is it still, like, hitting me at 100% right now? Also, play the music in the background. And then I'm going to get Edge open. Because my goodness, at least Microsoft Edge doesn't have, like, you know, pain. Alright, can I hide this bar? No, not really. Suspicious connections blocked. Thank you, antivirus. Let's have a look. Kingdom Hearts 3, Remind, Limitcut episode, and secret ending. Copy link. Paste link. 16 minutes. Alright. And 1080p. Is there sound? No, there isn't. One moment, please. Add existing game capture. There we go. I'm just going to put you right below here. Is that picking up? Captures audio except from the following. Well, Edge isn't on there. So comms, music, streamer, Clippy, music, thingy, properties, capture all except. Why is it not on here then? Filters, compressing and ducking, awesome. Close that. Is it there? Yep, cool, it is there. All right. Let me hit pause on the music. All right. Nope, we've already seen this. So they did their thingy-majiggy. Then we were trying to find Sora. And...
There's been no
network. Just the data I constructed based on Sora and his fighting ability. Italian something.
Sora data is not updated. Cool. Also, wait. The music sounds weird. Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind Limitcut episode. One moment. Something sounds weird about the audio quality of this thingy-majiggy in my ears. Oh, of course. Is things still at 100% CPU use? Also, why is that still open? Like, close you. Pit Defenders main thingy-majiggy. Close you. And I just realized that my name was actually on that, so I now need to... I am now just going to have to remove the VOD, so then that way I don't have my name cropping up. Great. Telegram. End you, so we can get some more CPU in us. Discord. Let's end you, so we can get more CPU in us. Let's just close Chrome and see how we do. What the fuck? This guy is doing it on like such a low level right now. Oh yeah, fuck this nonsense. Okay, so after an hour and 24 minutes, there is now 4 minutes remaining to this thing. Let's have a look-sees. Also, why is my Chrome still running? Ridiculous. Oh, it's because everything wants to try and run again, that's why.
No sign of the boy.
What a bummer.
Is my hands even working? Yes, they are. Oh, it's Merlin. Nope, it's the Good Witch. Or no, Fairy Godmother.
Godmother.
That's it.
Oh, I hope I didn't startle you.
Not at all. What brings you here?
Well, dear, I was asked to come by Merlin and Master Yen Sid. Now, where is... Oh, Riku. Yes, Riku is his name.
Here, I'm Riku.
Right there.
Why, it's nice to meet you. Now, I'd like you to tell me about the dreams that you've been having, dear.
Huh? My...
What the fuck? Also, hang on a second. Why is... Nope, I still need those foreground elements. Why is... Okay, so things are breaking is what's happening. Game source, deactivate that. Shut that off. Core overlays, VR elements, foreground elements. Here we go. Turn off the Discord Fugie because we don't need that. Keep the core overlays opened. All right. Let's keep going. Nothing in the Remind thingy-majiggy have we actually had any mention of Riku and his dreams until now. Why is this being a thing we don't care about until now?
My dreams? There's one. It was dark, and I was surrounded by tall buildings. I was looking around for Sora when I felt someone watching me from way up high.
All right, so that's the secret ending we got from Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts Remind, technically.
And that's all I remember.
Ugh.
But what happens next?
Oh, I know.
Huh?
Oh,
Why
don't you
Riku's dream?
Oh, because Master Yen Sid was worried. You weren't having any luck finding Sora. And because Riku had been in Sora's dreams before, he thought perhaps Riku just may be the key. That's why he and Merlin asked me to come here and look into his dreams, since of course, dreams are my specialty.
So, Riku's dreams might hold the key?
Yes, dear. I'm sure there's something there that leads to Sora.
In my dreams?
And the other two.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's the final world again. Okay. So far, not worth it. Quite frankly, not worth it whatsoever. This is... How many more minutes do I have? I have I have a little over a minute to go. Happy time zone, Zapper. I swear... Is this it? Seriously? Was that it? Just that, like, little moment of, like, oh, Riku is having the dream. Fucking Riku was actually experiencing what we saw in the secret thingy-majiggy. That wasn't just alluding to part 4. That was actually in a dream. Like, oh my fucking god. Secret episode is separate. Oh my goodness, why is it so much effort? One moment. Alright, think I found it. Here it is again.
This place.
Yeah, it's the end world.
At least I'm all here.
Yep. Normally there isn't a way back out from this place, and you've been able to do this twice.
Hey! Is anyone out there? Hello?
Hey.
Huh?
Hey.
Who's that?
I'm honestly surprised someone was saying hi back.
Where are you?
Over here!
I see you.
There's the Heterochromia dude from
Hey,
the Toy Story world.
Aren't you?
You know me?
Yeah, you're Yozora, right?
How do you know that? Who are you?
I'm Sora. And actually, there's something I have to ask you.
Sora? You're Sora?
Huh? You know who I am?
This is gonna be some
Sure.
real fun mistaken identity
I've heard of you.
nonsense.
If you're here, then this can't be the real world, can it? But wait, that girl, she told me about you. Maybe you are real after all.
Are you done? No, this isn't the real world, and I am here. But this isn't what I really look like. How'd you recognize me as Yozora?
Huh?
Why are you using Sora's name?
Because I am Sora.
If you are who you say, and it was fate that brought us here, then my path is clear.
Guns are just cheating if he's gonna come in with a sword fight, but props for going with guns first. Or crossbow gun, I suppose. Dylan Sprouse of The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I did not pick up on that at all. Alright, so there they are in Yozora's world, I suppose.
I accidentally wandered into this place, and went through some trials. Then, I was told to save Sora.
Huh? Then what's with the weapon?
Time to end this.
How many years after Final Fantasy was this released? Like, Final Fantasy 15, I should say.
Let's go.
You thought you'd win?
Well, he got his ass. I would probably have had my ass handed to me that quickly. So this is like the bad ending?
Sorry, but I don't lose.
The Yozora boss fight is fun. Fun! I don't know if stealing shit is fun.
I will save you.
Stealing shit from the player is annoying to me. Much like how when you play a Dark Souls game, limited resources such as bloods and like blood vials or any limited items like magic or such doesn't get applied to NPCs. I absolutely hate that sort of an idea where they're like, oh, you're playing a humanoid NPC? Yeah, he can just spam this ability that costs silver bullets for you, but costs nothing for him. I'm like, no, not fair. I'm better off playing a PvP game in that regard. And here he is, like, in his little car. I think the good ending is canon, the one where Sora wins. Because, like, yeah. I think they want to give the idea that Sora doesn't lose. And then we're watching this, which...
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
None of this makes sense to me.
Also, I can't take Yozuru, like, seriously, because I'm fairly sure losing unlocks this cutscene. Winning unlocks a different one. Cool. Oh, I have to use, like, fucking air steps to get to him? I wasn't gonna succeed on that one anytime soon.
What a pain.
You lost. Break.
None of this looks fun. my god, he has a lot of health. And then he goes into like this weird world. Because wasn't the idea that this would have been the protagonist from Final Fantasy 15 as well? Final Fantasy 15 started as Final Fantasy Versus 13. After 10 years, Tetsuya Nomura was removed from the project he started. Kingdom Hearts 3 has heavy themes of loss as a result, and the world of Verum Rex is the world of Versus 13. Yozora is what Nomura wanted Noctis to be. So, a guy that was working on Final Fantasy didn't get to finish the project he wanted. I'm a little bit familiar with the issues the project had, because let's be real, Square Enix doesn't like trying to, like, you know, recover. And we're now having to deal with a guy's, you know, what feels like a Dear John letter to the Final Fantasy 13 verses. Alright. So we get to here.
I guess that my powers aren't needed yet.
What do you mean?
Another ambiguous ending.
Never mind.
And now he's back in the world end thingy-majiggy.
Commander.
Impressive, is it not?
I've been having these weird thoughts lately.
Like, is any of this for real? Or not? None of this makes sense to me.
No, I'm sorry. That's not worth. That's not worth it at all. Also, hang on a sec. Why is it trying to do the... Oh, that's why. Remove those two Fugi reactive thingy-madiggies. I'm sorry, but that's not worth the gauntlet. Those two cutscenes there, like, sorry. No. Alright. I don't know why. I did the remind shit. That was fine. But then there was like Limitcut along on top of that, which made me think I had to do that. I don't know, like, whether it was... Thank you for the head pats, Fizz. I don't know how my brain, like, was like, oh, I gotta go through the Limitcut because this is a DLC that, like, is in the same vein as Remind, where it was gonna give me more, you know, understanding or some shit. It's like, nope. You also get busted accessories you can carry over to the main game. Here's the thing, however, Zach. I've already completed the main game. There is not a benefit to finishing Remind and going back to main game. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't... Hang on a second. There's no music. Why is there no music? It's because my Chrome doesn't want to run. Well, that's just stupid. Ugh. Yeah, no, it wasn't... Hang on, who did it? Who got me onto the brain of Limitcut? What's Limitcut? Basically the data battles from Kingdom Kingdom Hearts 2 final mix, but super hard. Also a super secret boss. Ah. Okay. Note to self. Don't ever do super bosses. Don't ever do boss rushes. There is nothing ever worth it at the end. It is just real dumb sort of, you know, oh, badge of honor moments. It's like, no, it's not. I'm not doing the streaming video game thingy-majiggy full time. There is no benefit in having, like, my little pedigree of having this... Blech. Good game. I will give... Hang on a sec. Why is there no music? Give me music! Give me sound! Fuck it, I'm just gonna get iTunes up. It's not like you guys... It's not like this thing will be, like, you know... Hang on a second. I need to have music going off. For some reason, music doesn't want to play, which is a little bit annoying, but give me a moment as I... Ah, darn it. Zeebs, yes. Yes, Orene Zach. Yes. Where is my music? Hang on a second. Personal, copy this. Paste that in, sign in. Where is my music? I just need like a really quick and easy soundtrack or something or rather. Hang on. Let me just go with my favorites, Misks. You sent DMs with timestamps for the new content. Let me just get some music going in the background. Hopefully that's not too loud. All right, that should be okay. But yeah, I enjoy bits and pieces of Kingdom Hearts. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I like Kingdom Hearts. There were some things that I enjoy. Going through Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 have been enjoyable, with Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep probably being where I got the most enjoyment because the system of battle, like, played in favor, like, I actually enjoyed the magic system in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep over any of the other magic systems that I went through. And then I got the Ultimate Blade, and that was just, you know, fucking eye-opening for me, and I really enjoyed it, and I understand now why people pursue that thing. The parts I do not like about Kingdom Hearts is just the convolutedness of explanation. Like, it doesn't help that, you know, there's some things that are like, you know, supposedly like factual nonsense, such as, oh, when someone, you know, is killed with a keyblade, they're heartless and their nobody is split. But when you deal with Kairi, she didn't have a heartless. She like her heart was like shoved into Sora and something like that. And it's like, oh, what about Ventus / Vanitas? And it's like, oh, Vanitas is just the darkness side of Ventus's heart. Ventus still exists. And, you know, that's stunned up the unversed and what have you. There's just like some moments where, you know, the Kingdom Heart like lore is just nonsensical and I'm not really interested in it. Sure, remember when where it says so many places I want to see, I know where I'll get someday? And then she's yep, made her wish come true. When you realize that, you cry. That was kind of cool. That's kind of cool how you're able to utilize, like, you know, some of the Disney characters. But what I'm noticing is a bit of a common trope in the Kingdom Hearts series, especially when I went through Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep and Kingdom Hearts 3, is that more often than not, the Disney and Pixar worlds you explore, they don't do much. They don't push the progression of the plot. They're just they're nothing. They do not help you. You can skip all those worlds. So like you can take on your like in Kingdom Hearts 3, if you go through, you know, your very first world, you go through the Traverse Town, sorry, not Traverse Town. When you go through you know, your very first world, and then you're doing your Kingdom Hearts 2.9 or 2.8 or what have you, and then like just skip all the Disney shit, you end up in Keyblade Graveyard, and lo and behold, you're now actually having the plot progress and such like that, which is fantastic. I cannot understand. Thank you for the follow, Phoenix Firewolf. I greatly appreciate it. I am on a bit of a rant on Kingdom Hearts after I have to go through... Hang on a second. Let me just get a quick... Nope, nothing of my Chrome is working right now. Everything is slow. Why is Chrome so slow? It makes no... Oh, that's why Chrome is slow. Hang on a second. Get rid of that one there. After going through, like, all the different games of Kingdom Hearts, I've now realized the Disney worlds don't mean shit. Disney is, like, probably having Square Enix spend so much money just to get the Disney worlds and such like that. And when we do finally use them, they're just nostalgia berries. It feels like, you know, going through a James Abram film where you're just sort of like, oh, remember Ariel? Remember how she wanted to see all kinds of worlds? Or, oh, remember Stitch? Oh, remember the Hunchback of Notre Dame and him being seen as ugly by his father figure? Oh, remember this? Oh, remember that? It's like, cool, but is my character, like, a lot of the lessons that could have been, like, shared to the main protagonist in Sora's instance in Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 don't really, you know, they don't affect the protagonist in any meaningful manner. You just know Disney's gonna push for Star Wars and Marvel World super hard in the future. Okay, here's my honest thought about Kingdom Hearts 4. From what we've seen, and this is my hope, and I know this is gonna be a very difficult thing to try and push, stop giving us Disney worlds. Just cut that nonsense out. We're not getting any cool, like, plot relevance or any story progression when our characters have to just visit each of these worlds. They're a very thinly veiled advertisement for the Disney IP that is currently existing in that world, with Frozen probably being, like, the most egregious in my opinion, because that one is just beat for beat the Disney film Frozen, which is, you know, we're trying to get to Elsa. Elsa doesn't want to be seen or what have you. And we get like this huge ass performance of Elsa's, you know, Let It Go song, which like half the reason you go to Frozen is for the Disney musicals and such. And they just presented the Disney musical in Kingdom Hearts, which no, don't do that. You're ruining the opportunity. You're kind of like, either they haven't seen the movie, in which case you've just explained the entire movie to them, which is not really good advertisement of the platform, or they already have seen it, in which case you're rehashing familiar grounds and it doesn't really mean anything. Weirdly enough, one of the best worlds in terms of, you know, actually introducing something new and moving on has been Hercules' world. For some reason, that one has actually been worthwhile, in my opinion, whenever we visit it. Because it's really simple. It's just a case of, oh, our character needs to get stronger. Let's send him to Hercules' world, where what do? You get stronger and you become a hero. Like, fucking brilliant. So good. After Kingdom Hearts 1, when it exploded in popularity, Disney had progressively tightened their grip on creative freedoms. Disney has always tightened their grip on creative freedoms, annoyingly enough. It pisses me off. But yeah, after going through Kingdom Hearts 3 and such like that, it's like, yep, just cut out all the Disney worlds and you get the same sort of plot. And then I have to go through Remind. I am okay with a little bit of Remind stuff, but it was really etching onto the side of Kingdom Hearts kind of played themselves into a bit of a corner, and they didn't want you having Sora or Kairi gone. And so they were like, oh, let's come up with a fun way of making you be able to try and save Kairi, but be like, oh, there's a deep cost you have to pay in saving Kairi. And it's like, okay, cool. We go back in time through the hearts of all the different warriors of light. We save Kairi. We disappear, but it feels hollow. It doesn't feel like, you know, this was, you know, a satisfying conclusion to the hero's journey. We're just, you know, we're just finding a reason to save Kairi and get our little happy ending at the end, rather than, you know, I don't know. Doesn't feel worth it. I feel like Kairi should have just been gone. Like, Kairi and Sora, gone. Donald and Goofy, moved on. Mickey, back in his castle, and then we continue on with Riku. Because Riku, this entire time, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 Riku, it's like, yeah, he's just turned into the Sasuke while we have our Sakura and Naruto. Kingdom Hearts 2, he's doing a secret mission and what have you, and then, you know, he becomes our ally at the end. And then Kingdom Hearts 3, I feel like should have just been Riku. just made, because here's the thing, Riku doesn't go to any of the Disney worlds. He does shit in the realm of darkness. He could have obviously have gone to Land of Departure and saved Ventus and fought Vanitas. But no, we have Sora do that because of the power of waking. King Triton said that the Keyblade brings discussion wherever it goes, and that's never touched on again. Yeah, like, I bet like, there are some fun moments in Kingdom Hearts, but it's really overshadowed by either A, we're just going through nostalgia of Disney, or B, there is some convoluted mechanic in order to, you know, give us our favorite things. So it's like, oh, you had Ansem. We're getting Ansem again in Kingdom Hearts 2 because he was such a cool villain. But he's not the same Ansem because he's a nobody. And then you get into Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep where it's like, oh, here's Ansem again before he gets split. And then you get into Dream Drop Difference where it's like, oh, no, Ansem's not gone. Ansem is still here, thanks to time travel nonsense. And you have young Xehanort, you've got Terra Xehanort, you got the Dark Riku, you got old Xehanort and Ansem and Zenmis. Like, yeah, this game, like, going into this game, like, after, you know, everyone's had their little fill of it, it feels fan servicey. It feels like going through. It makes me think of like Assassin's Creed Syndicate a little bit, where you're just going through this game and having this nostalgia berry of like, oh, I remember the times when I was with this kind of character and we had this kind of plot line with the Pieces of Eden and having this sort of factional control like we did back in Roma. It's like, Ansem is heartless, actually. Yes, he is heartless. The only Disney World that felt impactful to the plot was the second visit to Beast's castle where you killed Zaldin. But yeah, the entire series feels very much written by a madman. But I don't know, maybe... Oh, did something break? Yep, it most likely is my Vignon. Yep, it's my Vignon. One moment, please. And then you're just seeing it do all that kind of nonsense. Oh, it's back working again. Awesome. I was worried it was going to, like, break my entire thing. But yeah. Am I going to play Kingdom Hearts 4? Most likely. Am I going to be playing Melody of Memory? No. Just short answer, no. Because from what it sounds like is it's doing the same thing as Chain of Memory and Recoded, where I'm just, you know, reliving the game that, you know, was available to me on the PS2 or the PS3, or in this case, the PS4, and, you know, giving me like a shorter game to play it. It's like, look, if I wanted the recap that Melody of Memory does, I'm either going to play the games myself all over again, Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, and Kingdom Hearts 3, or I'm just going to watch a YouTube video. I think this is the problem with Kingdom Hearts, is that there's too much stuff getting crammed in, and it just is just a rehash of one of the titled numbers. Even when something brand new is introduced, when everyone's like, oh, this is from Kingdom Hearts back cover. Have you not played the mobile game? It's like, it doesn't help me. It's not, it doesn't improve the story. It's not some, you know, brand new thing. It's just, you know, throwing it in there for the fun of it. Like, I don't know. Kingdom Hearts 3, I think everyone was expecting it to be like either the conclusion to Lord of the Rings or Infinity War in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think it should have been any of those things. But yeah, that's just like my thoughts on Kingdom Hearts. It's in the end of the day, it feels very convoluted. It feels cheap. It, you know, I enjoyed it. The combat, absolutely fantastic. It, like, the gummy ship, great. The magic, I missed what it was like in Birth by Sleep, and I understand some people might prefer Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 2's. Still, overall good. I rate it. It slaps. But as far as story and plot, nah, I'm sorry, but not the same. Doesn't feel, it's not enjoyable. It's not like I'm running through it. I'm picking up the things that they're putting down and what have you. Stream about to end? Yeah. Stream is about to end. I need to have a look at who is online and streaming, because I know there's a whole ton of people who are right now playing Resident Evil 4. So let's have a look. We got Joel, we got Red Moon, we got Yoshels playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Connor's doing just chatting. How's Dazirus doing? But yeah, after going through Remind, I'm like, it was okay. And then Limitcut soured my taste on the Kingdom Hearts game. Like, maybe it's because the difficulty curve just got ramped up way too quickly, and everyone is sort of trying to say it's like, oh, but it's worthwhile. You get the additional content. You get more lore and plot into Kingdom Hearts. Doesn't feel like it. I feel like people are just sort of stuck. Yeah, we're going to go into Dazirius as he goes through a fun little raid. It was a fun journey, I will admit, but I'm probably not going to like do a deep dive into a series similarly. Thanks for the stream. Not to worry, Furry Cures. All right, let's get our raid started. And I got chores to do. What raid message do we want? What's a good raid message? Because I can do my classic raid message, but let's have a think. Nah, I think we're just gonna go with the classic Himbo raid, sorry. May your heart be your guiding key. Sure. Let's see. What's an emote that works well? Let's go with a Keck W. Let's go with a Keck W. May your heart be your guiding key. I am going to be I will be streaming again tomorrow evening. So Monday evening after work, I'm going to be going into a game. I don't know what game it's going to be. I have a few that are in my thingy-madiggy, such as Plague Tale Requiem, Resident Evil 4, but I think I'm going to hold off on Resident Evil 4 for a bit. But I'll figure out something, and otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to this morning's stream. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye for now.